Hello, my name is Daniel Sandoval, and I am working with the Aberdeen School District for our STEM project. And I am here to talk to you guys today about or this is a video for the first challenge. And what I'm here to talk to you about is just some things that we had to experience and overcome as we were, just going on through the task. We had to create a wireframe for the app, but for one, we've had an IT guy that's been out for like a month almost. I think he's sick, but that kind of led us to some issues. We weren't able to use the correct apps and stuff, so we had to kind of go with the plan B. We used Figma, and this was something our group had to learn and use YouTube tutorials in order to understand and kind of create some sort of wireframe. Before we get ahead of ourselves, let me just start off with saying our group first met around September time. We discussed about what our community needs and what would be kind of nice for our school, and we kind of realized that our school's not always on track with each other. A lot of the times we would have our sophomore class be doing something else, our senior class be doing something. Each homeroom does not know everything that's going on individually, especially if your homeroom teacher isn't the most involved with the school. They'll sometimes just forget to announce things or hand out papers, so sometimes kids just miss out on a lot of opportunities. Assemblies will happen and some kids won't even know until when it's happening. So we decided to create an app. I actually have some papers we first used. This is kind of our communication paper. We drew this out as a group. I know it's mirrored, but we have our communications, our staff, parents, how we can communicate with people, what our parents needed to see, what students wanted to see, each thing with the high school and certain, the high school, elementary school, and we decided to focus mainly on the high school first of all. We tried to contact the middle school and elementary school, but with that, it kind of came an issue of they kind of just didn't respond to us. The high school is the only person that kind of was more involved with this, and it kind of makes things easier on our behalf because we just get to focus on high school students, what they need, and us being high schoolers, it kind of helps us to get a better understanding of what things we need to do and where we come from. We also drew out they're a bit weird, but just this was the very first rendition of what we wanted to do. We are creating an app, kind of like a sanctuary for all the information you need about our school. This was just a little drop down menu that comes up from the side. The rest of the page, we have another page here, a little bit better, but yeah, we have logos and buttons and stuff. And as we've been working on throughout this, we've noticed certain things about our team. For one, it's kind of hard to schedule meetups and stuff. With after school and extracurricular activities being a part of what a lot of our team does, it's really hard to kind of group up, and we've had to sacrifice times to create and work on this project. But we've also had to overcome the use of Figma. There's been one tutorial that was made, I think only one, but we used it and it really helped us get a better understanding of how to use it and create. And from there on, we just searched up random other YouTube tutorials to help us just design the app. And it's kind of just been how it's been going throughout this. Yeah, just the hardware issue has been kind of a setback. We've had to just, of course, as I've already said, use Figma, which was actually really fun learning and trying to understand the language of the code. What we did end up having to do is at times our group would not be able to meet up during school hours. So after school, we'd use computers and stuff and get on Zoom and work with the Figma app and just kind of create our wireframe. And our wireframe is actually, I think it's pretty honestly, I'm kind of happy about it because it's to think of how we started with these little paper drawings and see it something as it's interactive. It brings you to places that you need to go, and it's not super detailed right now, but we are gonna work on that when we're not on the wireframe and actually getting more technical things. And we have a lot of ideas flowing through us, and that's what we've kind of been working on, and that's the challenge that we've had to overcome as a team. So yeah, I'm Daniel, and this is our video.
I would say the one thing that we learned the most on the wireframe was how to create the ideas for our app and just work them out and put the puzzle pieces together and figure out what was going on. Not literal puzzle pieces, but just figure out what we're working with.
I learned how to make some buttons so that like they can leak into the other page, so that if you click on this button, it'll go to like the second page, or if you click on the back button, it'll go to like the home page. I also learned how to format it and make it look good, which was honestly kind of cool. I like doing that. I like making things look good and everything like that. I also learned how to stretch a page out so we can make it a little bigger, so we can have so we can put some more text. So we have to put some information in there. I learned how to put text boxes in. I learned how to make text bigger and smaller, like an average Word doc. That's really what I learned.
Step one is that first we watched the video that Boise State sent us about XD, which was a really good video because it was very informative, and it explained how to add buttons, how to edit the pages, how to just add a background image. It was really informative. And then step two was we had to come up with our ideas, which we had many, but we ended up pinpointing down to what is there to do in American Falls. That way people here can know more of American Falls and know what to do what to do here. And then step three is we began building the website. So we created multiple blank pages, and then we started connecting them, and then we just started adding the information that we were going to add to each page. And then step four is, because we got stuck on some of our concepts, we watched some more of the videos, which were really good and informative. And then step five was we struggled a lot to do our websites, especially with the second page, man, because there was really no communication. Everyone was doing their own thing, and we weren't taking it as serious as the people that were doing page one, which had it done really quickly and had it done really good compared to the second slide, which was not so good.
I would say one of the biggest challenges we faced was working in a very, very large group and staying on task. Sometimes it would be very confusing, a little aggravating sometimes for all of us, but eventually we got through it.
So a challenge that we faced was communication and talking to each other about how it needs to look, because we had some other people that didn't know really what to do to make it look good, and we had some other people that knew what to do and how to format some stuff. So we had a clash between both of them. So we had to figure out how to talk to each other and make it look nice. But now, since we overcome that, it looks pretty good. We made it look good. The people that did the front page were pretty good. They had really good communication. The second page, we need to still work on that, but it still looks very, very good right now.
I'd say I'm most excited for the app to just be finished, something to finally be done. And when people come to American Falls, maybe we could set up a sign like download our app here or something. Here's fun activities you can do. Because American Falls is one of those towns, like if you're on a big trip with the family and you're driving through it, if you blink, it's gone, honestly. I just hope that it's something fun that people get to do in our little town.
Excited for people around this town to see it out and actually get finished, because like Nathaniel said, it's just, I've never had the feeling of making an app, and it'd be really good to be able to know that I did this, I made it look good, I made it look nice, I made it so that people actually use it and it's useful to the town. So I feel like this town sometimes is just a little boring and there's not really, you don't know what to do, but we actually have a lot of stuff to do if you know where to go, and a lot of hiking trails and stuff like that. So I'm really excited for people to use it and stuff like that.
What I'm most excited for this app is that it'll help support American Falls and knowing what things are out there in American Falls that you can do, and what places you can go eat at and what places you can visit. There are really some nice places out in American Falls.
While working on this project, we've learned types of colorblindness, how to put people into specific groups and focus on your specific project and what a wireframe was.
We also learned how to identify color blindness and the process that an app has to go through to be made.
As an overview of our project, we started with brainstorming with partners to get ideas of what our topic was about. And with those ideas, we shared a document so everybody was able to see and compare ideas.
After we figured out our ideas, we eventually shared them with our coach, and we figured out how many features we needed to see. We ended up having 5.
So we divided into teams, so each team would take on a different feature, and we found these teams by selecting leaders and then organizers and artists. Then once we did that, we started working on our Google slideshow, and we met with our GIMM coach to help make modifications and make changes to that.
Some of the barriers we had to overcome in our project were we had to make the wireframe on our Chromebooks because our computers hadn't come yet. And when they finally did, we couldn't download the Adobe XD program on it, which made it very difficult to make our wireframes.
We did not have many active members. Many people had other obligations.
At first we tried to communicate using Gmail and Google Classroom, but it didn't get that many people coming, so we tried doing morning announcements and tried passing out notes, and it kind of improved it.
Some of the things we're most excited about this project is learning how to code effectively, getting the app on the App Store, and making a functional app with designated features.
We're also really excited to test out the prototyping and getting to see the finished product.
Hi, my name is Jackie King. I am the Marsing Dev Lead Coordinator. Our team members are Austin Nielsen, Francis Bibby, and Jack Marshall. This is our reflection video for Challenge 1. Austin, what were some of the steps we took as a group?
Okay, so some of the steps we took as a group, first one was we met as a group, which is honestly very important because we kind of have to know each other to get along. We met with Bree, our BSU supervisor, the one who's helping us out with our app.
We were given teams, but if everyone happened to download Adobe XD, I was just going to show you what Marsing's will look like for their prototype, for their wireframe. So they are creating an app for a coffee shop.
Then after we decided what we were going to do, we drew the plan for the wireframe on a piece of paper. We worked with Adobe XD. Thank you, Jack, for doing most of it. Then we wrote the essay, which I did, and then we're doing this video.
Okay, and Francis, what did we learn?
We learned about working as a teamwork because working as a teamwork and getting to know each other is a really important thing in a group. And then working with Adobe XD,
where students will be able to order their coffee on their phones instead of having the long line, and then they can just go pick up their coffee. So this is the first login. You click order. The students will type their name.
Okay, and Jack, what were some of the barriers that we faced?
Our main obstacle was that being able to get together at the same time.
Add an item.
We
select
by,
the plenty of items, and then they will order it, and it would go to them. That's the app. All right.
Okay, and what are we most excited about starting this challenge?
What I'm personally most excited about is going to be the next challenge or step 2 of this whole process.
What I'm excited about is continue working on with Adobe XD.
I'm excited to start actually making the app.
Great. And I'm excited to actually use the app. So again, this was our Challenge 1 video. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Yadis Martinez, and earlier we were making a COVID shooter game, and this was my design for the pandemic shooter. With some COVID around, maybe we would decide this to be like one of the first home pages you would see.
I'm David Carranza, and for the COVID shooter app, this is what I had so far just as a basic wallpaper starter idea. We got a little bit of a hidden COVID because it's always around the corner.
Hello, I'm Jacob Palmer, and I created this stupid picture. It's basically just the same image, copy and pasted, with the gradients.
But then
Then I made it better with the seagull coughing out the same picture, copy and pasted.
Wonderful, thank you.
Originally, we were going to do a COVID app. Now we're doing a plastics rescue app. Some people think that plastic pollution is mostly a coastal problem. Plastic is just as much of a problem in freshwater, especially our own very Snake River.
It's a fox!
Look, it's out there! This is supposed to be a bunny. I don't know if you can tell, but that is the tail, the body, the head, and the ears.
Good job. For our first assignment, now that we are going in the direction of the Animal Rescue Act, I assigned students to just show me their Photoshop skills. And I told them they don't have to be perfect. I just want to know that you can create a PNG image, that you know how to submit them to the Devly Google Classroom. And so these are definitely prototypes. And since assigning this, we have decided to focus our app on waters rather than just the outdoors in general.
We're keeping the weird Curious George thing.
We're keeping the weird Curious George thing. Yeah. I did tell them fantasy animals was just fine. So, you know, we'll pick and choose. The true stars of illustration will rise up, and we'll have some beautiful animals for our app soon.
This is chicken, kind of. You can see the head, the wings, the tail, the legs.
This is my animal. It is a seagull. I based it off of a seagull from Finding Nemo, hence the mine at the top.
Wonderful.
I'm Isaac, and this is my animal. This is the god of sheep.
Hi, I'm Hayden, and this is my animal.
Oh, my name is Caleb Steele. Here is my animal.
And it is a dog.
I'm David Carranza, and this is my animal, the beautiful scuba sheep.
Scuba sheep, able to swim.
Hi, I'm Jacob Palmer, and I created the rare branchback lizard. Branchback lizard. It's known for its cool back pattern thing.
I'm Yadisa Martinez, and I am currently working on the wired frames for the new game with some animals.
Here is our completed wireframe from the lovely Rita. You can swipe away pollution on animals you found. You can collect animals in your journal. Go to an animal specifically on common pollution that affects them and ways to solve it. Shout out animals or potential animals you can earn down the road as you gain facts and help more animals. We're hoping to add a scuba option, put on some scuba gear, go down and clear pollution and help animals underwater. And some settings that you can adjust. Good job, Yuritsa. Personally, this is my favorite animal that was created.